Hey guys, so today in the podcast we have Biz. Biz is a wonderful, great magician who I've really grown to love. Other than just being an amazing human being, he's an amazing magician. His skills are unparalleled. He has some really wild palms, pop-out moves, color changes. And if I ask him to show me anything from his book, The Worst Magic Book for Beginners, he does it with such flair that I go, dude, what the fuck? How do you do it so smoothly? He's probably also the person who has the best knack for learning slides and routines ever. I only had to explain to him some routines for a few seconds and he was able to do them. But with that being said, he is just an amazing human being. And if I can take away anything from this podcast, it would genuinely be that just be a deep human being that's genuinely interested in other people and you will go a very far way in life. I had an amazing time recording this podcast. I think Biz had too. But without any further ado, let's just get into it. If you enjoy this podcast, then please give it a follow, a like, subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment or reach out to me. That would mean the world. Now, let's get into the podcast and enjoy. All right, Biz. So, welcome to the podcast.
Rico.
Hey,
Happy
man.
to have you. Happy to Welcome to my show.
Welcome to the Biz House Show, where Biz interviews me. No, but you're actually my second guest on the Beyond the Method podcast.
Ooh,
Nice name, right? I didn't tell you before.
No.
No, so like the whole idea is to discuss magic a bit beyond the. Yeah.
Okay.
How did you know? How did you guess?
Just mentalism.
Shit, you read one of those mentalism books? You were like,
Yeah, all bakers test that's mentalism.
ah, it's good stuff, dude.
Yeah.
What's the only book you read? Only book you. I think the Baker stuff is very good, like for in terms of basis and mentalism.
Basis.
But even if you read like old genie sort of magazines, like it's pretty cool. They used to have like these reports of what people used to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd go to a magician's house or show, and people would write on like, oh, the magician did this thing, that thing, that thing. And the ones about Al Baker are always fucking crazy.
Whoa.
And then there was one in like the recent genies, I think it's the February one, where they were describing the story of what Baker did, and then someone was like making an analysis because what they described was impossible, and they were making an analysis of probably everything was set up because Baker organized a dinner party, and everything must have been stooged to set up just to really screw with some people.
You think so?
I would not be surprised.
I think even what's his name? Ricky J. did a
Hmm.
lot of stuff where many times you would think it's stooge, but it's not. Or
Yeah.
Malini did a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
Not stooged, impromptu.
Yeah, but Malini would just like, I think there's a lot of power in that. The Malini would just wait for like ever to do something,
Yeah.
and even would be completely fine not doing something.
Exactly.
You know, I think we always got like, at least when I was younger, especially, like I wanted to do something, and I'm like, if it doesn't naturally occur, I'm like, oh, by the way, so I'm working on this thing, and
You know, somebody actually did. What's his name? The rich man's magician.
like Steve Cohen, like the millionaire's magician.
Millionaire's magician.
Yeah.
Rich man's magician.
The rich man. Sort of similar.
He actually did Malini's trick, and the story goes he had somebody. They knew they were gonna hire him for a Harvard professor's birthday or like inauguration, and they took his coat 8 months before, and he put a card in his coat sewn inside. And then on the day, he actually performed Malini's, and he took a scissor, and it was inside the professor's reaction. I think so many things nowadays we've been so how's it called? Numb. We're so numb.
Yeah.
To these things. When it happens, you're just like, okay.
Yeah, but I also wonder about this. Like, you know about Nate Leipzig, probably.
Yeah.
Like it's written that he performed with just a deck of cards in a theater for thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm thinking in some way, yeah, maybe that's also like a product of its time, in some way that like people had no television necessary in that time. They were not like we are now with the phone, like overstimulated all the time.
You can actually do just cards for thousands of people, and they would.
Even if they can't see anything, like they're seeing already. Like imagine you're in Amsterdam, you're like this family, like you know, in the 20s or something. I think that's accurate. like 1920s, and just Nate Leipzig, just an American magician, comes over. You're like, just really, oh, he's from America, you know, like that's already exciting. Most people haven't been there.
Yeah.
It's from America, and then he performs with just cards. So you can see people on stage just losing it. Like
Yeah.
he was sell their reaction.
Exactly. It's like what we're doing when we're watching on YouTube. You know, somebody reacting to somebody.
Yes,
We're not even reacting to the video. We're reacting to his reaction.
it's so stupid in some way, and yet we like
But it's
it.
very human.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea.
Yet it makes it entertaining that this guy is reacting to this thing,
Exactly.
right?
I think it's a byproduct of loneliness, though.
Maybe.
Because usually you used to do that with friends. You watch together. If he's laughing, it's contagious. You both laugh.
Yeah.
You watch it by yourself. It's like, this is fun.
Yeah, that depends what you're watching, right? But I guess it's not really the same. Like my girlfriend showed me this thing of like this guy that's really into hip hop, like analyzing the new Kendrick Lamar album.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude just knows so much about it. Like he just one song is like 50 minutes video. Just
The
like
needle point?
Hmm?
The needle drop? The needle point?
I don't know exactly what's
Okay.
but like he was like analyzing Reincarnated and just like 50 minutes video. Just like about all the meaning and like for some reason the dude is also a Bible scholar or something, so he knows all the Bible references that Kendrick is referring to.
Okay.
And like trying to figure out, because in that song he's like I think 3 or 4 different people he reincarnates, sort of, that he's rapping about, like being that person, which he thinks that those are his influences, and he's trying to figure out, okay, who is Kendrick rapping about?
Mm-hmm.
It's
It would be
super
so
cool,
interesting if somebody did this with magic.
right?
You know, if the audience would have no idea. But
Mm.
imagine just being on stage and slightly shifting the way that you walk or slightly shifting your voice, and people going, "Ah, he's just doing a character." But magicians are like, "Oh, that's Tommy Wonders," or "Oh, that's
Oh,
King,"
like this.
or
Oh,
that's
yeah.
you know, an homage, but you don't say it. Come and see my homage. No. It's got nothing to do with that.
So just sort of like impersonate other magicians.
But I would say not in a way that you actually are doing their voice, you know, so it sounds like a impersonation,
Yeah.
but something a bit more subtle in a way.
Mm.
So other magicians that are knowledgeable go, "Whoa, that's very nice."
Yeah, so you're leaving Easter eggs behind there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe, I don't know, something that only Mac King would, a way in which only he would pick up something or have an object.
But at the same time, it might be difficult to do, I feel, like properly, right? Because we steal a lot of jokes and lines and tricks. So where would you draw that line between, okay, now we're stealing and now it's an homage?
I don't know. How do you make something you stole an homage? I think that's the question in our case. How do you make? I think it becomes an homage when you do it perfect. Perfect.
When you do it justice?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if the person looks, he goes, "Whoa, that's good. That's perfect." Or didn't do it in your way, but it's perfect. It's amazing, you know. I think then it's an homage. It's not an homage when you're, yeah. Then it's just mockery, maybe. Not really mockery. Then it's just, oh, okay,
Could still be flattery, right? Like,
flattery.
yeah.
It's just flattery.
Unless it's done terribly, right? Then it's like.
Then it's mockery. Or if it's done terribly on purpose, it's mockery. If it's not done on purpose, then
Yeah, but I still feel mockery could also be a good homage in some way. Like,
could be. Yeah.
like if you're a performer that has a specific character and you are aware of all your flaws, even someone just does certain stuff and you go,
That's funny.
that's hilarious.
Yeah. I think there are some characters in the magic world that you could impersonate. Like Bebel, I feel could be impersonated. Dennis Bear could be impersonated. Piff, yeah, the Piff is already like an actual character. So
Yeah.
Teller, because he doesn't talk, so easy. I think somebody could do an act like this, definitely. Do you feel like I'm asking you stuff?
But it's your podcast, as we established before.
But do you feel like there's more magicians taking risks in an artistic way with their acts? Do you feel like art and magic, art being theater, being more experimental things, you feel like magicians are bringing art into their magic shows?
It's a difficult question because, like, I think you also need to consider what is art and what is not art. But, like, even if we leave that a bit vague, then I think it's difficult because what I see a tendency of is that people say we put art in magic, but then it becomes a theater play which has a bit of magic in it. So then the theater becomes more important than the magic, where I'm thinking, no, dude, you're a magician. You're not a theater director or a theater actor. You're a magician. And in theater, people can already, if the story is good, suspend their disbelief to believe that the harness that Peter Pan is flying in is actually he's flying. Right? So it's a very difficult line. I think there should definitely be people doing it. Um, I think a great example is a friend of mine, like Elaine Simonov. Ellen is doing some really weird stuff when I'm seeing her do. I think also Tobias Dostal is doing it
Yes.
because, like, one of Tobias' favorite artists is Dali. You know, like surrealism, and everything he does is surrealistic. It's like, let me take this ring and let me melt it.
I love it.
But the thing people don't get with that is, like, I have only seen Tobias do that trick and make it look good. Because people think, oh, it's easy, just use this gimmick. No, he puts so much effort into pantomime, and that pantomime is what makes it look so beautiful.
When I saw the explanation, my
Mhm.
mind went, that's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible for that to be the method. And then I watched him perform it and I thought, I swear to God, I saw liquid all the
Yes,
time. Swear to God. I was thinking, where's the fuck?
pantomime.
It's amazing.
Like, also the way it's born by a mistake. He was playing with different ways to make timbals, and like at one point he made one and sort of hung it there, and he went home, and when he came back to his studio, it's beautiful. But rather than going like, he was like, oh,
I could do something with that.
you notice he does one thing that's so quirky, but I love it. It's he does this trick called the card around the world.
Okay.
So he takes a playing card and he throws it, and you will just see it disappear, but you see a flash, and then 3 seconds it goes like, yeah. So usually it takes about 3 or 4, and he goes, oh fuck, and then the card just shoots from his head, like in his face, like.
Wow, that's amazing.
So cool.
I've never seen this. Does he perform it somewhere?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
It's also in his lecture notes. I'll show you later. But just it's not like a grand thing that you go, oh, but just the idea of like everyone gets that. It's beautiful. It's
Around the world, literally.
Yeah.
Traveled around the world, came back.
Came back, shot, like, hit him right on the other side in his face.
Okay, see, this is Tobias Dostal's example. Is a very good idea, very good example, and Alan Asimov's of art magic, where you're still a magician. You're not becoming completely a painter or a theater
Yes.
director or anything. There are few that do.
Do you have examples of like people you've seen?
I've seen in cardistry somebody do this.
But how do you do it in cardistry?
Right? He did stuff with mirrors as well. It made so much sense. I remember every video he put. He's a guy from Russia, friend of Alan Asimov as well, and he's a magician as well, but also an artist. And everything would be surrealistic, but it made so much sense. I remember watching his video. His name is with K, something with K. You definitely know him if I show you. Surrealistic, but makes sense. You know, it's not like stuck up art where you go, I get it. I don't. You know, you actually did get it. Like with Tobias, you really do get everything. You know, like his shadow plays or what it is, whatever he is doing. But I would like to see more stage work. Whenever I see FISM acts or just acts in general that, like Laurent P.
Yeah, that was the other name I was searching for. Yes, yes.
Laurent's act. I remember it beginning and I go, and then it keeps going and it really sucks me in. By the end of it, it really sucked me, and I was thinking, whoa, this is amazing. The whole vibe, right? You really buy into the story of what is happening. But there's very few acts. most of the acts is just like, for example, the one that I'm working on right now,
Mm.
and I showed to different magicians, and they go, "You need acting lessons. I
Mm.
don't. You're a magician playing the role of a teacher. It should when the act begins, I should really believe you're a teacher.
Mm.
Really believe what I'm seeing. If I don't, it just looks like children's play.
Yeah.
You know. So I think to expect from a magician, we are actors in a way. We are actors, but real actors, let's be honest,
Mm.
it's a different art.
I agree. Yeah.
So to expect them to be able to be good actors, I think is a very high thing.
Mm.
But I would love to see people think more out of the box instead of just self.
I would like to see that balance more in that regard, where you're going like, okay, so it's still magic, but there is also the story going on. You know, like what you're saying, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a teacher, but then the challenge, okay, so let's say you could act perfectly like you are the teacher. Then there can still be an aspect in that where we are watching um, a magic show or a magic act, but this guy is a teacher, right? But everything that's happening is magical.
Yeah, yeah, that's the balance.
Mm.
That's what you want to aim for sure.
I think that's I think also a mistake some people make, or magicians. I think we want to do too much ourselves.
Yeah, I think so.
Or like, oh yeah, I can be the director and the music director and the artist doing the stuff,
Yeah.
and they can do this and that and that and that. And
You need money to hire people or have friends.
yeah, but I think even like friends, dude, like, I mean, of course, like if you want to make something like in and of itself, like a type of Broadway show, then yeah, you're gonna need money, like,
Yeah.
because you want that thing to be as good as possible. But I think even for my one man show, like me just asking one of my friends who is more a consultant, he's not necessarily an actor, and he's just a really good friend of mine, be like, hey, look at me, look at my show with me, and tell me just at some moments what you think about this.
Yeah.
And just asking him, hey, I think this is wrong and that's wrong. What do you think? Because sometimes they go, pretty good. Other times you go, this is amazing. And they go,
Other times not as bad. Yeah,
they go, dude, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. And you go,
people that you trust.
yeah.
Even from people that you don't trust. Just random feedback.
Mhm.
Essential.
Yeah, but I still think it depends also how the feedback is given. That's
Yeah, of course, like anything in life.
it's important, you know.
I think sex is nice, but it really depends how it's given. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Would you rather have bad sex or no sex?
No.
Right, none, right?
No.
Yeah.
Also, let's say I give you 100 euros.
Mhm.
Will you take it? I give it to you right now. Like, let's say. Well, obviously. Now let's say I give it to you like this.
Yeah.
Take it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything changes so much based on what you do, how you do it. I can say thank you. Thanks, man. Or I can say thanks, man. Yeah, it's so interesting how much can change based on
Yeah. Like the
how you
intent
deliver it.
behind things.
But if we take this into magic, I think so many times we don't really think about how we deliver the trick. Not really. Not how we deliver the trick. But look, for example, a classic force, right?
Mhm.
If I am trying to classic force the Joker on you, okay?
Great card.
And I go like this, I'm not saying that it's bad. It's not. It was the card next to it, right?
Mhm.
It was the card next to it.
Yep.
I'm not saying this is a bad force.
I was like, don't show it to the camera.
I'm not saying this is bad, but I've seen people classic force like this.
Mm.
And that was the card every time, right? And I feel like the fact that we sometimes believe the spectator doesn't feel something is very wrong. I'm not saying he knows that you gave him a card. I'm saying that he might feel something is off.
Mm.
When you go like this and then all of a sudden, boom, there's only one card that I was showing you in comparison to having all of them spread out in the same way.
Mm.
I feel like this is something that many professional people think about. That I think, even without the classic force thing,
Yeah.
to be able to really think about how you're delivering certain slides, how you're delivering certain words, and all of this is very, very important.
It's so interesting you say that. Like, I think this is the perfect example of what Vernon meant with be natural. Because it's always people mistake this quote, in my opinion. They say, "Oh yeah, be natural." It's so easy. No, the quote is "Be natural and use your head," and it also wasn't Vernon, I believe. But that's not the point. The point is like I think he meant that a lot of people they change, like you say, like the intention of something changes. Like people feel you're doing something, whereas if you're truly natural, you're doing it as if you would have them pick a card anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas if I were to do it now, and that sounds very obvious, like, yeah, of course you want it to look like the same. Like, no, but your whole attitude and demeanor needs to be the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, preferably there shouldn't even be a shift in me talking to you and then me going like, oh, so we have a coin, and then the coin goes there, and it's like,
Like the whole voice.
yeah, but like that's also, you know, in the beginning you hear it with your friends, like they go like, dude, you change when you do magic.
That's I wouldn't go as far. You can have a different character when you do magic. I think that's fine.
Of course.
But while you're in that character, I think it should always feel natural to the
Mhm,
character.
mhm.
If your character is somebody super elegant, it would be weird to do a Donny Force. All of a sudden, to just
Yes,
go,
of course, of
I
course.
just say stop. That's weird. Why would you do that? You know, natural to the way that you are as a performer.
And I think to some extent it also goes to like how you are as a person.
Of course, I think your character evolves from who you are as a
Yeah.
person. I think there can also be like the contrast. You know, I'm very chill in real life. I just saw Jan Logman,
Mm.
who won FISM back in 2009,
Yeah.
and he won, I think, Parlor Magic. And I saw him perform. In real life, he's very relaxed,
Mm.
very relaxed. He talks like this. It's nice. He performs for 2 hours. For 50 minutes, there's not 1 second of pause. There's never a second where he doesn't speak. People continue laughing. He's funny, and it's in a relaxed way. But his talking is not like this. It's not like this. His talking usually goes a little bit like this, and he's talking about, you know, like it's really active. People love it, and I feel like that is a contrast to how he actually is in real life. But it matches his whole demeanor, his clothes, his face.
Yeah.
Very, very natural. Everything that he does, I think this is what blew my mind. The fact that they say where you look, the spectator looks.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the cards, the spectator's looking at the cards, right? I saw him do cups and balls. He barely looks at it doesn't even do cups and balls. He does teapots and tomatoes, you know? And
Okay.
he barely even looks at, obviously he looks when he takes them, but then when he's vanishing them, he goes, you know how I do this? And then he's not even looking when he threw it in this hand. Many times he's not even looking at his hands when he's just passing the ball from right to left when he's doing the vanish. And I saw one thing he really does. He passes it to the left and then he like arranges it in the hand. I love this, as if the orange
Yeah.
really fall well, and he's like placing it in a position.
But that's interesting. It's like sort of like, oh, your peripheral vision saw he did that, and then you're like, did I see it? And then you adjust it, and your mind goes, yeah,
it's in the hand.
it's in the hand.
Why would he do that? It's not there. You're like, what? Bro, he fooled me with so many things. He's so natural. Right? That's what naturalness is when anything you do feels completely in character. Anything, everything.
Your brain goes, of course.
Yeah,
Of course that's what's
course.
happening. Yeah.
Of course, he made me select a card by doing this. Of course, he made me select a card by doing this or doing this. You know, even if you go, you know, I think if you have a certain character, that makes sense. Anything makes sense, but if it's out of place, I don't think I would see Jan and go, we have a deck of cards right over here. Just I would probably laugh, and if that's what he wanted, then that would make sense. But yeah, a touchy subject for me. So many people impersonate the Spanish school, and it does not fit their character at all.
For me, it's always touchy to think like when people say the Spanish school, they just mean Juan and Danny.
Yeah,
But there's so much more. Like we have Gabi, for example, you know.
that's true. Not he didn't have such a big impact in the mainstream.
Yeah, but I think other people that had impacted the mainstream, like for example Miguel Gomez.
I don't know who he is. There you go.
Yeah, but like of course with Tamariz, Ascanio, Miguel Gomez. Gabi had like a very big impact on Spanish now, because especially now outside with like Costas de Gabi doing all those things. It's just beautiful stuff that he does. But like the way that this dude thinks about magic is just, how can you, to that degree,
Very beautiful thinking.
you know, like that whole thing, like he does the Coleridge flower, and then at one point, like it's a cards across, but he tells the story of like, yeah, just imagine, you know, like if you were in a dream, and you're sort of in a canoe, and in the dream you pick up a flower, and then when you wake up, that flower is in your hand. And that story combined with a cards across, where someone just has like three, so they deal down 10 cards. Then from those 10 cards, they pick a card, which is the tree, and they put their hands on the cards the whole time. Gabi didn't touch anything for them, and he tells that story, and they lift up the hand. He goes, "What number is it? 3." And so, what if there are 13 cards now into your hand?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see how it ties. Yeah, it's a beautiful tie-in.
Mm.
You dreamt you had 3 and you brought it back in reality.
Or the fictional magic, like there's this stick. I think it's from Scarney, where he puts, like, for example, the Ace of Spades on top, and the Queen of Hearts goes on the bottom of the glass, and then they switch places. So now he turns over the top card is the Queen of Hearts, and the bottom is the Ace of Spades. Gabi does that same thing, but he lifts up the top card, he turns around the glass.
Such a beautiful detail. Such a beautiful detail. Wow. Very beautiful. I haven't seen this.
So it's probably that would also fit in like the art category.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I like this school much more. It fits more at home with me
Mm.
than yeah.
But why do you think it is that so many people like impersonate
Mario.
Mm.
I feel like Mario has nothing to do with the whole wave.
Mario is Mario, man.
Yeah, Mario's Mario. Very, very unique way of.
Mm.
I feel like he would be the type of person I would see on TV.
Mm-hmm.
He's 50, I'm a kid, and he goes, "Oh, let's look at this thing. Oh, look what it can do. Ooh, it just exploded. Wow." Like anything that it would do, I'd be like, "Whoa, this guy makes me want to be curious." That's the vibe he's giving me. What did you want to ask me?
It's funny, I'm just thinking now of like Avi said in the last podcast that like Tobias Dastel is like the magician he would want to see, like a 7-year-old Avi. I feel that like a 7-year-old Bizao you would just want to see Mario.
For sure. For sure.
Now I ask you, why do you think it is that most people, like a lot of people, are impersonating that specific part of the Spanish school?
It's just easy.
Easy?
It's much easier to impersonate anybody
Mm.
or something that is easily impersonatable. And this is easily the idea of chaos, the idea of not caring. We live in an age of not caring. And we're caring too much, like political correctness and all of these things. You know, so I get it. I get it. I think, let's put it this way. It's such a well-defined style.
Yeah.
That, like, for example, Bukowski. Bukowski was the most copied poet of the 20th century. Why? Because he was so easy to copy.
Yeah, okay.
You know? And I feel like it's the same thing here. It doesn't say something of it doesn't say anything about Bukowski or about Dani or about Tamariz that it's of low quality that anybody can actually take it. No, it says something about how well defined the style is. And I feel if there would be other styles that are so well defined, people might be able to take to those as well. But I can't even think of one right now, except for the French school used to be super elegant. Jean-Pierre Valeriano, everything's very smooth. Everything's elegant. I like this. I like this a lot more than
Bernard Billis.
Yes. Bebel. Bebel, the way that he moves, he never rushes anything. Jan Fontaine now, you know, you can see that he likes that type of like very fluid and beautiful. So this is why I believe.
I think it's also like maybe an easy style to understand, in the sense of like as a magician that you're like, oh, it's all chaos, and when you first see it, you go, yeah, there's no way he's controlling anything, and then he's actually controlling it. And you go, whoa, that's genius to use the chaos in order to actually have control. But like as a concept, that's so easy to get. Like when you're working on what do I want to do, who do I want to be, what principle do I want to use, and I think that principle, like now it's very much out there.
True.
But you can use that same principle of chaos just in a normal show, which is very structured for a very elegant magician.
True. You can use the chaos and not impersonate the character. I feel like that would be great if people.
But you have to work a bit harder for that.
I think you can go something like, if you have a deck, instead of going very like crazy, when you pick the cards, if they fall to the floor, you go, sorry about that. Right? So if people feel a little bit awkward, you can play on that. Like, was that on purpose?
It's funny that you say that.
But when your character is all about chaos and you drop cards,
Yeah. So that's interesting because like the home card that I do, the way that I end it is the card going to the wallet. Because I sort of liked the whole deck going to the pocket, sure, but I was like, it's kind of about one card traveling and not about all of them. So my ending was, and has been for over 5 or 6 years, that for the last one, it doesn't go to the pocket, and they go, last one into the pocket, it's a, wait, what? And it's not there. And I go to my other pocket and take out my keys, and they go, oh, it's not here either. And I go, well, luckily I have many pockets. And eventually I take out the wallet and other things and go to the audience and like, it's here. No, 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 no. Oh, sometimes it goes to something that was inside of the pocket. It goes a bit further. Take out the wallet.
that's great.
But then once during a stage show, I accidentally dropped the deck. Not all of them, just so fucking lucky. Dropped the cards. Was like, and I look at the bottom and like the selection I'm still holding in my hand with like 500, with like 600 cards. Are going.
Cool.
But I play off that, and I noticed the response was like 70% stronger.
Of course.
So now what I'm doing is on purpose dropping those cards on the floor. I'm just talking and I go, tsk. So always someone goes before I go, and I look at them and go like this and I go, oh shit. And I just touch it with my foot, sort of like, and I go, okay, let's hope your card isn't there because I'm not going to pick those up. And then as I'm miming to try it again, I go, I have people for that. So my character is very elegant, you know? I have people for that. And I throw it and I go to my pocket and I go, no, it's not there. And I look at the floor again. I look back at them. I go, okay, so especially for you guys tonight, it goes to a different pocket. Nope. And then the third pocket, like the keys come out. I go, luckily I have many pockets. And then they start emptying the pocket, right? And nothing. And I go to the person. I go, is it here? They go, no. I just throw those cards on the floor as well now because I'm done.
So it starts collecting now.
Is it here? No, just the whole deck is on the floor now. And then it's like,
bro, and then it's in the wallet. I just realized that because you do the joke with I have people for that.
yeah.
What would it be like if at the beginning of the show somebody gets a congratulations letter, right?
Yeah.
And on it says something like message buffering. That doesn't make sense, but something along the idea of this message is still being loaded, right? And it makes no sense. You go, it just makes sense. You know, you close the envelope, there's a switch, and then when they open it another time, it says, congratulations, you've just been hired as the card picker. The person that the cards from the floor for the magician, right? I think it would be funny. Don't know if it fits your character, but I think it would be funny.
It's hilarious. You make them the person.
You make them, I have people for that. And then you look at the guy and
Make a broom appear. Yeah, just
no, wait. You give them a little broom and the thing, it appears inside maybe. When they take it out, they take out just the envelope, right? They look at the envelope, maybe they feel something in it. I don't know. Or maybe you so the envelope is on the table, right?
uh-huh.
You hold the envelope, they take out the thing, there's nothing else in it. There is. They look at it, they've just been noticed that they got fired, they put it back. And then when you do the joke, you go, open the letter.
Oh, it says, or it's like it says calculating job.
Yeah, but when they open the letter and you go like this, a little broom drops out or something. So they can actually use it. It's so stupid. But I think it's stuff like this.
It should just be like a toothbrush.
It should be a toothbrush. Or no. It should be what do you call those? Pincers. So he takes
Shit, yeah.
card, he takes it one by one, you see.
Careful. It's very expensive cards.
Oh my god, it'd be so funny if somebody actually did it. This guy goes at Jan's performance. Jan does a trick with this thing that is on his leg that is pushing up a card in his pocket, right? The thing doesn't work. This is the most genius thing for a WoW gimmick I've ever seen. He takes his pants off. Everybody's fucking laughing because he's got boxer shorts. There's nothing indecent about it. He takes it and you see this contraception on his whole leg and it gets stuck. Like it didn't work. So he's like, you're 9 of hearts. And like, so he's trying to explain what exactly is supposed to happen. And then he forces the 5 of hearts. He has somebody sign both of them, places it in the center. I don't know how much I can talk about it, but okay, he has it. He takes the wall gimmick. He goes like this, right? So you can't actually see their card. And then the 5 of hearts appears. And he goes, I see the 5 of hearts appears. And then he takes it and he puts the card. He takes it face down. He puts it inside. And he goes, but it doesn't have your signatures on it, right? So now he activates the gimmick so you only see the 5 of hearts. So you go, but wait, if you send I don't know the whole story, it was in German. And then when he just waves, you can see the signatures appear because he's pushing on. It was genius. Bro, I've never seen that. I was like, what? And people really went like, whoa. They didn't expect the signatures to just appear.
Dude, of course. Like,
So
what
good.
the?
So let me see. Why was I saying the story? Oh yeah. So because he took his pants off, he took a spectator at one point and he made a joke about taking your pants off, and the guy literally just goes right, and he took his belt off, he unbuttoned, and he goes here, and he stops. And that's why I feel like it's so nice. Sometimes you never know what's gonna happen, but nothing bad with like nobody's. And if he takes his pants off, it wouldn't be like something indecent.
No.
I don't think it would be. Only if you get somebody that's a bit weird. Yeah, that's weird, right? But he told me never something bad happens during his shows, especially for adults. They were all adults.
I think it's also the character, what you are trying to share with them.
Yes.
Like, if you're being a dick to them, sure. But if you're just being nice and respectful, then they're going to go, yeah, if they ruin it now, they ruin it for the whole room. And everyone's going to be like, God, dude, why are you the party pooper?
Actually, I have a story regarding this with a magician from America. I don't know who it is.
Okay.
And this guy's performing for a whole arena, like 2,500 people. And he's doing a classic force to somebody in the second row. And he goes to him and goes, just take out a card, right? And the guy comes, and instead of taking out from here, he literally does this, right? And when the magician sees that he does this, he moves his mic so nobody can hear and says, you're going to take this fucking card. Don't be a bitch about it. I said, just take that fucking card, okay? Hey, so he has selected a new card. So for the 8 people here, they heard it. But the rest of 2,400, they're going to have a good show. I think he went like, you'll take this fucking card and you're not going to ruin my fucking show, you asshole. There's something like this. I told Jan this story and he goes, 4 of diamonds. No, I'm joking. The one I wanted to class.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
I told Jan this and he goes, oh, you know how I would do it? Can you please just be an asshole? Can you please just take a card? Okay. Would you like to be a spectator? Like, just like do that. Like, fuck you, I'm not gonna do. Yeah, would you like to be a spectator? He doesn't want to. I think being able to crowd manage.
Yeah, that's very essential.
I had this guy at the last performance. I go, so you have your card in your mind, right? I'm gonna do this, and I want you to yell out your card. Okay, I was testing you, okay? So you yell out the card. You have it in your mind, right? Yes. And I'm going to throw all of these cards in the air. And when you yell it out, I'm going to hear it. I'm going to see it. And I'm going to grab it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. we're gonna do it, okay?
Okay.
And then I do it. He says nothing. Dead silent. I catch the card. I look at him and go, I'm very happy that you followed my instructions. We don't want to scare anybody. Everybody started laughing. The guy is like, I'm very happy. You're a much better idea. We shouldn't yell at this point, And I feel like that was the best way to go about it because everybody was receptive, right? But if I would have I catch the card and I'd say nothing. I just go, is this your card? It's weird.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just weird, right?
Yeah, but like then you're not acknowledging the moment of what
Yeah,
just
you're not
happened.
acknowledging the moment. Yeah, at least laugh with them. Because he was really like, I don't know why. Just like, what am I supposed to do?
I just wanted to see it or didn't properly speak English.
Yes, could be, but he did.
Okay.
Yeah, it took him. Oh no, you're right. Maybe he didn't properly speak.
Maybe he was like, what's the name of the card in English?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Should have told him, yell it in German.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think another thing outside of performing magic for audiences is performing magic for magicians and knowing how to save situations. For example, every lecture I've had something bad went. Something bad went during the performance. I start with a performance and then I don't start with a performance of a trick. I have a whole hack and then I go into the lecture. So I've had one time my whole stack, I just discovered, I go like this and I'm like, that's weird. Why is that card there? And I just go, yeah, so you guys I realize the whole deck is shuffled. So I literally don't say anything and I'm thinking the next 4 tricks are based on that stack. So what do I do? And I go, I'll just skip over the next 4 tricks. Okay, guys. So let me, and I just go into something else. And this other time during the performance, the stack got cut. I have no idea. I don't know now when. So I'm supposed to take a break at one point under 8 cards. And I'm looking to see where my break is because I make the break so I don't have to think about it. And I see the break is here. And I'm like, that can't be right. I think it's just another card. I turn it around, I see that's it. And I literally go, I cut the deck and I go, oh, sorry, what was I doing? Oh, yeah, because it fits with the character, the same character. So, like, being able to fix something on the spot without fumbling about it, without going. So, let's say your card is the 2 of Hearts, right? What was the card that you had?
2 of Hearts.
I didn't say this was your 2 of Club. You have 2 of Hearts, right? I just turned the card. You sure you selected a 2 of Hearts?
Yes.
You saw it in the deck?
Yeah, before, somewhere.
Let's see. And like it feels much more natural if you don't react to the failure. You know this as a magician, obviously. But I've had somebody recently send me an email that went, I am very afraid of failing in front of my friends and family and in front of people that have paid me to perform magic. What do I do? And I'm curious about your answer as well. My answer for me is fail on purpose.
Interesting.
Just fail on purpose so you get accustomed. What would happen if I give them the wrong card? I just give them the wrong card.
If I lose the card for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's traumatizing, the idea. But if you're preparing yourself to fail, at least you know what's going to happen. Then you go, okay, what can I do? What can I do? Ah, pull the card.
I think that's pretty good advice, actually, because at this point, I have screwed up so many times in live performances that, like, when that happens, I'm just like, oh yeah, it wasn't a card. Cool.
Yep.
I'll get out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I think it's really good advice.
There was a FISM act that was in Hamburg. He's performing at FISM. And there's 3 card reveals. And the first one fails. Jan is walking in backstage with me. We're talking. He goes, ooh. Because he's hearing in German, right? He goes, the first card didn't work. And I'm like, whoa. And I talk with him afterwards. And he tells me, And something weird happened. Never happened before. Because he has a device that makes the card vanish,
Mm.
and somehow the device took 2 cards at the same time.
Huh.
But it's weird because the device only sticks to the top card. As if the device is this and it goes like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And somehow both of them, completely perfect, went like this. So when he contacted this card, which is a different card, you know?
Mm.
And I go, so what happened? I just went through the deck, I palmed it, and that was it. Obviously, you're not gonna go, first one didn't work. No.
But even if it's not a good conclusion, like I've had this many times, like doing walk around, like you genuinely lose the card, or someone shuffles the deck, or something goes wrong in your control. You go, "This is your card." I go, "No," and like, do you sort of know the difference after a while when someone is fucking with you?
Yeah, you do.
Because they go, "No, it's not." You just look them straight in the eye, silence, and they go, "Ah, nah, just fuck." You know? Or you look them in the eye, and they get sort of guilty, and they go, "Oh, really?" And they go, "Yeah, no, it's really not the card." And then you know, okay, I fucked up. But then so you just go to the cards and usually palm it, to pull it out of a pocket or a wallet, or do a color change with the cards you took before. And
Yeah, obviously, top change or whatever.
but I would say that advice is different for walk around and for stage.
Oh, very, very different. Oh, very different.
So the best person I've seen this do on stage is Shane Cobalt.
Okay.
And I've known Shane for quite a while, and Shane did this thing where it was supposed to be a card fountain, right? So 3 people would pick a card, whole deck would go in the glass. He would sort of just stare at the glass, and like 49 cards would just start shooting out of the glass one by one. 3 cards would be left. That would be the selection.
Yeah.
Miracle. Beautiful ending. It took him like half an hour to set that thing up. And then when the moment when it was supposed to happen, I could just see like a little card just going a little bit like, and they got stuck. They were stuck in the glass.
Sorry, it's funny.
Yeah. But he was like, at that point, he was like, yeah, fuck, what do I do? Like, the whole deck is gimmicked. I cannot do anything. Like, I don't, like, like, you just fucked. And what he did was so masterful, because he literally just went to the audience like, look, guys, what was supposed to happen, and he told this beautiful story about how it was supposed to happen, was this and this, and like, that would have been amazing, but unfortunately some nights you screw up. Like, we're also, human. And from that I could see the whole audience just melting, being like, oh, that sucks, like we really wanted to see this. And then after that he did like 505 from Ross Bertram, like a 5-card manipulation, sort of like what Howard Thurston used to do as a finishing, so telling the story about Thurston and then just doing this thing. And he was like, okay, but to make it up with you, I'll do this thing. And he told the story about Thurston, did the manipulation, and people literally were crying as he was manipulating cards. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Because he screwed his finale up.
So he made it up.
And he made it up with something else. But because he acknowledged that he screwed it up, the audience was so much more on his side that people even got emotional.
Yeah, very beautiful. Very beautiful.
Whoa.
I think it would have been amazing if what he was masterful. Masterfully there. People are like, this is so beautiful. So foul.
Yeah.
The cards shoot him in the face or something. Like, look. And then the 3 cards, he goes, and the 3 selections are all fucking with you. What the fuck? Bro, legendary. The illusion worked completely.
Fuck all of you guys.
Oh no. But I think people would remember that night for it.
It's difficult to fake that though.
No, I don't think you would have faked it. I think it would have been funny if it would actually trigger.
As an accident.
Yeah, he would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That would have been the cherry on top, honestly. But this is beautiful. This is beautiful. About failing, what was I? Oh yes, I think putting yourself in heckler situations. Because you see, people want to heckle sometimes, but with your approval. For example, I had this one guy, I'm doing ambitious card to him.
Yeah.
And he goes, again? I do it again? He goes, again. Right? You usually do it again, right? He's like, you're doing it because I'm telling you. Now I do the bend one, it goes up, he's fucking losing it, he goes, again, but I hold the deck, right? And I go, okay. So he takes the card and he says, I put it in the middle, right? So this is a heckler situation. Accept it and see what you can do. So I accept it. And he literally, imagine the card is the 8 of diamonds.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to test you, Rico. Right? I'm going to do exactly what he did. And he gave me the deck. So what would you do right now?
What'd you do? Let's see.
So you have to do the ambitious at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a tricky thing to think about if you would say it in a moment, you know.
But it was already on top.
Yeah.
Right? So what I did was, well, you took it. You know, you were glancing for information, right? You were glancing for information. I went, he gave me the deck, and I go, okay, so you put the card wherever you want it. Yes. Just to make sure it's not already on top. And I look at him, he goes, I go, bro, what the fuck? I wanted to see what you were gonna do. I instantly top on the card and I go, bro, actually shuffle it. And I was like, wow, I cannot believe I got so lucky that the guy put it on top, right? He gives me back the deck. And I put it in my pocket. And I go, you shuffled, you put the card back. Watch. Vanishes. I show him that it's vanished. He's like, what? What was the card again? Because I forgot it. I swear, I love this phrase. I see so many magicians go, what was the card again? I don't fucking know already. What was the card again? 8 of diamonds. It can't be the 8 of diamonds because the 8 of diamonds is in my pocket. Right? And I see, like, putting yourself in heckler situations where people are nice. They go, do it again. Can you do it again? Can you do it? But I do, like, they're testing you, not heckling. They're testing you. Perfect situations. Because if you fail, they will just go, okay. So it doesn't always work. I would rather sacrifice one interaction with a person and end up improving in time so that in other situations I can just kill it. But you have to be okay with failing. You have to be okay with somebody going, you're not that good.
I love that. Yeah,
I'm not that good. I couldn't do it this time. It's okay. Just swallow your ego. I'm not that good. Yeah, I've been doing magic for 18 years. I'm not that good. I still have people, they see me perform something and they go, you're okay. Yeah, I am okay. It's okay to be okay. You know, I don't need, because this was a thing that I really had to battle, because you grow up, you're 20, you're 22, 23, your arrogance is growing a lot, your testosterone is exploding, you know, so you're really like, I am the fucking best, right?
I'm the shit.
I'm the shit. You can be, but it doesn't mean that other people aren't three times better than you, or they're just better at other things. So when they look at you, because they have no idea what you're doing, they can go, that's nice. That's it. That's nice. For them, it's just nice.
Yeah.
And I like this. The idea of putting yourself in the situation where, I wouldn't say you can be humbled. No, you can be reminded of the fact that you still have room for improvement. And I like that. My whole lecture tour is just about this. I was sitting at home and I had broken up with my ex-girlfriend. I had failed to sell a lot of my previous magazine project. I was having some debts to pay back. I didn't have a win. It didn't feel like everything was going bad. My anxiety shot up a lot. I moved back home in the hometown that I was born in, and I was sitting at home thinking, if I wanted, this is my narcissism plus being proud plus being tired plus knowing how much I worked for the last 18 years. So all of these gave birth to this thought. if I wanted, I could be famous. I could be whatever. I could win FISM. I could whatever.
Mm,
So if I know I can do it, what's the point in even doing it anymore? Right? The arrogance to say,
mm,
I know I can do it. Why should I even try? And the way that I got, because I was so low,
yeah.
the way that I got out of that was saying, prove it. Prove it. Easy. Just prove it. And I was talking to myself like, okay, can you do it? Prove it. Ah, you can write the magic book. Prove it.
Mm,
Come on, actually do it. And I think it's so important to prove it to yourself
mm,
first. And I am so grateful that I got out of this gigantic hole. I knew I was in a rut. I knew I wasn't feeling good. But at the same time, I could have just went, no, I want to take a year off. I want to stay at home. I want to work from home. Go to gym. Just take life easy, right?
mm,
But on the other side, now this is my dream. We
Mhm.
talked about Dr. Happy, right?
yeah.
And for me, I've been wanting to go in a van, live in the van, and travel and see magic everywhere and jam with magicians and lecture since I was probably 19.
Mm,
Where I did this together with Zach and Noel for our DVD.
Yeah.
That was this trip DVD that we did, for anybody that doesn't know. And we went around Europe and we did cardistry and magic and we filmed people and made these jams. And now that I'm living this, I am going to every country. And I am lucky that because I am so obsessed with slides and I've come up with ideas that people appreciate,
mm,
I end up jamming with some magicians that, from my point of view, are so much better than me. Like, and I see what they do, and I'm like, what? And I think this is a beautiful feeling to have after 18 years. To feel as if there's no more room for improvement.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh my God, that's a horrible feeling. To feel like you've hit a plateau at 30. To feel like, this is the best. I am the best.
What?
What? Like, yeah, performing, yeah. Man, so much arrogance. And I'm so happy that this whole trip is teaching me a lot, humbling, very humbling at the same time. So fun. Oh my God, I cried so many times. Honestly, driving and crying of happiness. This is happening. I'm performing, I'm lecturing, I'm meeting all these people. These people are critiquing, these people are I'm seeing them perform. This is why I even told you, like, I'm really looking forward to learning from you, because you've performed maybe 100 times more than I have performed. And that is a lot. That is a lot more. You've definitely learned so much more than I have when it comes to performance. And I'm really open to seeing people and learning from them. So this is why, this was a long talk. Long talk. But yeah, if anybody has a dream, man, it's worth it. It was worth it, like crunching so many hours. I worked so much on the book. I had 3 jobs at the same time so I can pay the van. I took a loan as well so I can pay part of it. I didn't ask for any money from anybody. Everything's from magic. The whole van is just magic. So I've never actually...
It's also literally inside. It's magic.
It is. Except for the bed. Bro, that bed fits one person. You know what I mean? If you have another person there with...
No, what do you mean?
They don't fit. Bro, they don't fit! They do not fit. Oh, man. And I really was thinking about this. I'm talking with the guy. I go, can you make the bed so it opens in case I have a girl here? And he goes, yeah, of course. And I buy the mattress for one person. And I'm looking at the mattress and I have to leave the next day and I'm thinking, am I retarded? Bro, literally the mattresses, I will tell you, this is how big the mattress is. It ends here and here. Where do you fit another person? Here, right? No.
No.
Come on. No. You need to move. It doesn't work as you think. Also, this is not a high van. So the moment that you forget this and you go, sorry, but the moment you go, oh, I forgot about this. Right? So yes, the van is great for one person. The van is great. And this is why the whole trip is a solo experience. And it's life changing. It's life blossoming, I would say. Not
Mm,
life changing, life improving, life
yeah.
enchanting,
Mm.
the whole thing. I love it.
I think it's also lovely, like, you know, you were sort of like having this trickster archetype, your psyche, or you're going like almost out of spite and anger, being like, yeah, no, fuck everyone. I can do it better than they can. I could win FISM. I could do that. I can do that. Like I can be a successful magician. I just don't want it to be like that. I want to have my standards or something. And when you go, prove it. Okay, boy, you can win FISM. Sure,
Yeah,
win it.
Yeah, show me.
Show me. And then like you stop lying to yourself. You start humbling yourself a bit, and it's so beautiful to hear that you decided to you know what? I could lie to the world, but at least I don't want to lie to myself.
Yeah,
And I don't want to lie to the world either. But the last person I want to lie to is me.
most important person.
What can I actually do now to get out of this rut? I'm feeling fucked. That's fine.
Yeah.
What can I do to be better?
Thing is, when you're in a rut, it's such a conglomeration. You studied psychology, so you know that
Mm,
it's a conglomeration of being frustrated. It can be from relationships, it can be from your own life,
mm,
right? Financially, it can be from the fact that you don't get as much recognition as you want, or as you expected, or as you think you should. Oh, yeah, these two are the same, right? So frustrations. Then there's the exhaustion part.
yeah.
You're literally tired. So I think if you acknowledge when you're in that rut and you're hearing these thoughts, if you do not identify with that, if you
Mm,
do not go, this is you, it's a part of me. Obviously, I am hearing my own emotions come together and go, I can do it, the best, right? Like all of this is coming. That's me. I don't think you should push them out. I don't think you should go, oh, it's very bad. I'm thinking this. No, that's you, bro. Listen,
yeah,
because it's trying to tell you something. And in my case, you listen to that. I don't want that. I don't want to be that person that sits at home and goes, I'm better than everybody. I want to be the person that actually goes
yeah. Mm,
outside and isn't better than everybody. Goes outside and meets all of these people
mm,
that I know they're better than me, you know? And this is the humbling part, because we all feel we're very good at something, right? Especially honestly, for me, being able to steal that card so perfectly, it
yeah,
fucks with your mind, bro.
smooth.
You go, oh, I can do this perfectly. I'm the best.
I'm the shit.
Yeah. But I think it's very healthy to have this because it gives you feel you can do something.
Yeah.
I talked with somebody about participating in FISM and they go, I don't feel I can do it. And it really takes something to feel you can do it, to
Mm,
participate in this contest and go, I feel I can win. There's an arrogance there, but it's also a confidence that you have in yourself.
mm.
They say these about what do you call people that in soccer and football they're in the front? Goal, no,
I don't know, dude. I
like
don't watch
Messi and Ronaldo. They're in the front. They
front line. I don't.
yeah,
I
the
don't
people
watch
that
any
score the
soccer.
goals,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
These people that score the goals, they have to be so fucking arrogant to see the keeper or the gate,
The goalie.
the goalie, right? 30 meters and go, oh, I can score from here, right? And go, oh, I can perfectly hit it like this. So much arrogance and confidence at the same time.
Yeah.
And I feel you need this also as a magician in
Mm,
a healthy dose.
mm. I think like confidence wise, it's also interesting like what you said before because like what popped up for me was like there's a book over there called Self Confidence
Mhm.
by something Jean Pepin, I think, or Charles Pepin. Anyway, something Pepin. And what he says, or he puts multiple essays about confidence in definitions, but the one that stuck with me was him saying, confidence is doing something and knowing that after it, you're going to be okay. You're going to be able to handle this.
Nice. Very nice.
So you're just going to be knowing, okay, I don't know what the outcome will be, but I know that I can handle this.
Yeah. I recently talked with somebody about creating magic daily, right?
Mm,
And because I've been doing this since I was 13,
mm,
randomly, at many times I've read comments that went, did you really think you can do this your whole life? Or do you really think you can do this for 1 year? Or do you always this fear that one day you go, what do I do? Right? And I hated the thought of relying so much on instinct, intuition, and inspiration.
mm.
Oh, the three eyes.
Whoa.
Oh, the three eyes. Instinct. What was the other one? Instinct, inspiration, and
Intuition.
intuition. Oh,
Let's go.
so, spitting wisdom.
Just unlocks the seventh chakra, man.
And the way that I always went about it from early age, I went, okay, because I don't want to just go, oh, this is an interesting thought that I just had. I'll just do this pop out. No, I always took it systematically.
Mm,
And I went, okay, I'll do this. But the whole creation process has to be systematic. Because if I follow my own method, I know this is beyond the method, but if I follow my own way of doing it, I will always be able to do it.
mm,
And the fact that I've done this so many times and I've had the thought in my mind that went, what am I going to create today? And I go, I don't know, but I know I can do it. For so many years, I don't know, but I know I can do it. Even the last cardistry project, every day thinking, what am I going to film today? I've had 90 flourishes for the first 100 days. I knew what I was going to do. I was so chill about it. 100-day pass, and I go, so what am I going to do? And I go, I don't know, but I know I can do it.
Yeah.
Every day. It's a feeling that at first scratches. You're just like this. And if for a few days you go, I really don't know what I'm going to do, man. What am I going to do today? It's not scratch anymore. It turns into a scar. And all of a sudden, you're not confident in that thing anymore.
Yeah. But I think it's because at that point you're acting out of fear, and that's
Yes.
the opposite of love.
Yes.
You want to be operating from love when you're creative and when you're doing those things.
Sure.
I think as long as you're doing it from love and from I can do this, you can do it.
I just have a very bad story.
Please do.
Very bad. Don't use this, okay? Don't use this, bro.
Okay, we can talk about it after the podcast, okay?
Okay, you can use it. But it's got nothing to do with magic. I just realized tell you
Okay.
afterwards. Okay? Okay, we have to remember. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, sorry guys. You can ask
let's write it down.
if you want to know. You ask me in person. Oh, you actually have some questions.
Yeah, we didn't get to any of them, man.
It's making teaching, learning come out of love. That's where the whole story comes from.
So, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yo.
How to fuck up the flow? Don't know why.
1 hour. It's 10:06.
Yeah, whatever.
Yes, yeah.
All good. I was wondering, like, how working for a magic company influenced your magic.
Interesting. The question is, has working for a magic company influenced your magic?
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah.
I would say what has influenced me more is interviewing the artists from the magic company. So I've interviewed them for the Creating Magic podcast that we do, and seeing how they think, why they think like that, why they perform the magic that they chose to perform, why they create the tricks that they chose to create or they have created. That's influenced my. I used to think much more complex, but now whenever I create a new trick, I always think, how can I streamline this?
Ah,
How can I eliminate slides? How can I make this more straightforward? Is my message clear? All of these things I didn't have before. So I feel working for the company has definitely matured me more as an artist, as a magician.
I guess also then in some way, like you're looking at it now and you're going like, oh yeah, that's how other people are doing it. So you get like a framework of it's okay to do it like this
Yes.
or like that.
Yes, I didn't have this before. I
No.
was much more judgy about certain ways of creating, certain ways of performing.
But I feel like it also ties into what you said before, right? Like you're willing and daring yourself to go a certain alleyway that maybe if you weren't going like, what am I going to create today? I don't know, but I'll see. Maybe you wouldn't even go into that alleyway. Like if you wouldn't have the mindset, like if you would have the mindset, it has to be good, it has to be this, it has to be that. I don't think that creativity lays there, you know, like pushing yourself to do something.
Might for some people,
Yeah.
not for me. You know, if I go, oh, this has to be good, it's gonna be bad.
That's also what I like so much about that Tobias story with like the ring thing. It's like that was a mistake. And when he told me that, I was like, what? I was like, whoa, that's so cool that was a mistake. That was never intended.
Beautiful when you see a mistake and go,
Hmm.
that's nice. You know, when you don't have the instinct to be angry at yourself for having messed up.
Right, right.
Because his reflex wasn't to go, no, his reflex was, right?
Yeah.
And it's very important. I realize the more I grow up, and now I'm 30, the more I realize what are the reflexes that I've developed over the past 12 years of being aware of my. I don't believe I was really aware up until high school. I wasn't really aware, conscious of everything that I was doing. And
I think not many people are actually.
I think it's normal to not because you're living your childhood. You know. But now that I'm 30, I'm thinking, wow, I cannot imagine. I'm so happy. Like, for example, the simple thing of hitting my head or knocking my pinky or anything on the corner. And Alan Watts talked about pain. And he said, when you feel pain, imagine you've been feeling that pain for the past 10 years. If you would have felt it, would you even bother giving it attention? No, because you've known it for 10 years. And whenever I hit myself now, I instantly just continue living. I go, and that's it. There's no more, there's nothing to it. It's just, okay, I move on. And this is a very small example of a reflex that I've developed in years. And I feel it's not like now I believe everybody at 20 should think, ooh, what's the reflex that I should build? But no, but to be aware that when you make a mistake, if your reflex at 20 is to go very angry and emotional, realize that if you keep doing that at 30, that's going to be pretty bad. But to be open, for example, I hate mushrooms. I hated mushrooms. I still kind of hate them. I hate it.
But like every kind of mushroom or?
In Romania, I wasn't really exposed to many things. Like, for example, Asian food, any mushrooms, I would eat it.
Okay.
Right? But the champignon that they would put on pizza or to make champignon sauce with chicken and this white.
Yeah, with the steaks.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of mushrooms on it. Never liked that. But for some reason, I don't know where this idea came from. Every year or 2 years, I test myself again. Do I still hate mushrooms? Do I still hate broccoli?
That's a good one.
And I taste it and I go, no. With mushrooms, it was this. What I think 22, 23, 24. I taste it and I go, that's nice. But if I would be stuck in my head,
yes,
of who I ended up being at 19 after being controlled, being educated by school, parents, and everybody, and the person that you are at that point, and then you're finally free by going to college or what it is that you're doing. If I got stuck in who that person was at that point, I would have never been able to actually become myself. Because I don't believe you're you at that point. I believe you're a product of everything that
that's fair, but
was before.
You know, that's one of the things that scares me in some way, and it's not to say I'm better than other people, but I am. No, but no, but you know, it's that on a very early age, when I was 18, I moved out of my hometown to study. But since my hometown is very close to here, most people stay in the hometown, take the train, go to Amsterdam to study, take the train back. I could see, which is sad in some way, within 3 years, I lost all my connection with all my friends in the hometown.
Of course.
Except for 2 of them. Because after 3 years, I changed so much. I was living on my own for 3 years, was studying, learning about myself and life, and they were exactly the same people.
Yep.
And in some way, it's also what society tells you. I think it's like, okay, this period we're gonna mold you. You're gonna become. You're a smart person. You're a dumb person. You are whatever. You can do this level of education. You can do that. You're good for that. This is your value. This is your value. And then once you're like 25, you're fully finished and molded, and now you go into the world as that person. And what I love about your story is you're saying like, no, I can keep being curious about who I am
Yeah.
and what I want to do and what I like.
Yeah. And being open to that.
And Biz of like Bizao of 3 years ago is not Bizao today.
But it definitely applies to rules,
Mm.
you know, to these
In which way?
certainties that you have about yourself.
Uh-huh.
I hate running. I hate. I dislike. No, soccer isn't for me. No, I don't like pool. All of these certainties. You've played maybe once in a certain moment in time with a certain person, or maybe you played more times, or maybe you were feeling in a certain way when you created that certainty,
Mm.
and now you're feeling much more okay, or open, or maybe you're happier, right? And you can go, do I still dislike this, or do I still have this belief about myself?
Yeah.
And I don't know how, but I think this is super healthy.
Mm.
And it's 100% the reason why when I have a certainty, for example, let's say I dislike linking rings. Let's say I'm creating this certainty about myself, right? I dislike linking rings. And I meet you and you go, I perform the linking rings. If I'm stuck in my certainties, I will go, I fucking hate it. I like you, right?
Mm.
And I think this is the openness, right? So I like you.
Mm.
I dislike linking rings.
Mm.
Can I see how you do them?
Mm.
I'm open to seeing you do them. You do them shit, I fucking hate them. Okay? I continue disliking them.
Yes,
But
yes.
the idea of being open to meeting somebody and seeing another way of doing that, and maybe you going, that was beautiful.
Mm.
So it can be beautiful,
Mm.
right? And Fernando Pessoa talked about the ultimate truth. And he said the ultimate truth lies in hypocrisy. And this idea of fully believing one thing and then being open to completely shifting. Not because in a way it's hypocritical to even say this. I'm completely strong, and then the next day you do something different. Because if you look from the outside, it looks as if you're just a hypocrite.
Yes.
But in one day, your belief system can alter based on the experiences that you have, based on what you hear, who you interact with, and all of those things can literally change in you to the point where you go, whoa, I love this now, or wow, now because what happens in our brains, and this definitely doesn't have anything to do with magic in a way, but I feel when you're open, since there's so many connections happening in our brains constantly, maybe thousands, millions of connections, then when you go, wait, is this true? You're feeding the idea to your brain, and your brain is going into all of your past experiences and showing you why it's true. And if you listen to those and go,
Wow.
you can't say I was wrong all along, but you can go, I like this. This is the new me. This is the new certainty. This is the new thing that I will embrace.
Yeah.
So I think it's even as a magician, as a human being, of course, but very, very important.
But I think, like you said, that's not about magic, but I think in some way it is, because I wholeheartedly believe that like magic requires what it takes from you. In some way that like it will give you challenges to work on yourself, but it will also give you back a lot. Like it will literally give you those challenges to work on, but you have to work on them to get new ones and to become better.
Man, that was so good. Because we're talking about magic as in card magic, but I'm thinking about magic as in anything that is magic.
Yeah.
Magic will give what it takes from you. And I think it's very important. The way that you phrased it is usually alchemy is about equivalent exchange.
Yes.
What you sacrifice, you get in return.
Mm-hmm.
The difference here in what you said is the other way around. What is being taken from you, you will receive.
Mm-hmm.
When you sacrifice, you choose what you sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And then based on that, you get something back. Whereas in this case, magic will give what it takes.
Yes.
And I like this a lot. The idea that to be open for things to be taken from you.
Mm.
This sounds very religious, very, if God takes all your sheep, if God takes your home, and you still go, okay.
The story of Job, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think many times I've felt this in my life. The idea of something's being taken and the impulse of going, well, reacting in a very bad way towards this, and then going, it's okay.
It's okay.
Or even going, thank you, which is weird, but acknowledging that something good maybe has happened.
I mean, I've had that with many things in my life. Also, like things in my childhood. Like I was getting bullied a lot, for example, when I was younger, and it's so weird to say, but now I'm like, kind of glad I did.
Yeah.
Kind of happy I did. Which to anyone would be like, are you fucking out of your mind? Like you were happy you were bullied? I'm like, no. I mean, in the moment, of course not. And I still remember a lot of pain and sorrow and sadness, but I would not be the person I am today if that wouldn't be the case. And I'm very grateful for the person I became and I'm still becoming.
Yeah.
So it's exactly like you say, like there's two ways to look at it. And sort of alchemy was about that as well, right? Like, of course, we know it's from Harry Potter where they were making the Philosopher's Stone, or like the stories about Nicholas Flamel when he was making the Philosopher's Stone, and which he supposedly did. But the alchemists sort of also noticed like that as their emotional state was different, the way they would perceive things were different, and even the fire would behave different. Which, like, they sort of just believed it became also an inner working. Let the gold can also be like an inner transformation.
Eliade talks about this.
Yeah.
I think we are magic. Like what's happening inside of us is alchemy as well. You get it? Who are some lesser known magicians? I don't know them.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I don't know them. Lesser known. Let me think a bit. Obviously, there's magicians in Romania that probably nobody will ever know because they perform only in Romania. I don't think probably now they do. They do know Tamas. You know Tamas from Budapest. Yeah, because he blew up with his last effects. Let me see.
Like Badar, right?
Yeah. I don't think many people know Gabor. You know Gabor?
I think so, yeah.
The guy that can transform any deck into a stripper?
Tibor.
Tibor.
Yeah.
His family name's Gabor.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Tibor, yeah.
Tibor.
Tibor has.
You know him.
Yeah.
You know him. Maybe not a lot of people know him. Thinking. Maybe many young people know Jack Patton, but don't know if many people know him. I think he's a great thinker. He creates a lot of very, very intricate sleight of hand, but he's working on so many mathematical things that have nothing to do with sleights. And he's all figuring it out in his own mind. He's not taking inspiration from anything. He's literally doing the whole math thing. So I would definitely name him. I can't really think of, when you think of me, imagine somebody just sits in and works. I've worked so much over the last year and isolated myself and just work inside and barely like whenever you see me post so much, I never sit on Instagram. I don't scroll. I have no idea who's publishing stuff, who's doing stuff. I don't know what other companies are doing. And many times I'm meeting people, I know their Instagram handle, I've seen something, but I know nothing what they're doing. Because I do not want to sit on social media. I post a lot. But I post and then I go, and that's it.
I think that's a very healthy way to look at it. Like, I was once talking with Alvaro, a really good friend of mine, and Alvaro was like also saying like, yeah, imagine that the people like Tamariz who were so freaking good today had social media and were introduced to it as a kid. He was like, probably they wouldn't be where they were now. And in that regard, like we are still sort of lucky. And for me, I definitely want to be less on social media.
It's still important. It's a currency, you know?
Yeah, but the trick is that when you are needing it for your business or for your business, sorry, or to share stuff with people, right? Because you want to share, like you're eager to share. Then that's great. So then you're doing something good. You're sharing, you're giving to the world, and there's nothing wrong with like a healthy amount of taking stuff in. But just when it becomes like doom scrolling because you're sort of bored and you're feeling, and I don't even think like if you would have one day a week when you're just doom scrolling, fine.
I tried this. It becomes a habit. It's such
Yeah.
a powerful drug.
Yeah. Mm.
Because during that one day, you're about to send 50 messages to people with sharing all of these videos, different friends, and then they send back theirs. I have a lot of friends that send me these videos. I only watch their videos, and that's it. That is my only exposure to anything outside. I trust their choices. I watch, I laugh, I enjoy. That's it. I did doom scrolling during COVID. It destroyed my mind. There's no point to it. It's not relaxing.
Nope.
It's consuming. You can be rage baited. You can be emotionally baited. You can go through so many emotions. You exit and you go, what? What am I doing now with my life?
And what's even worse is like there's also this book somewhere here called The Dopamine Nation.
Yeah.
And I mean that also talks about like, oh, it's right here. It also talks about like the effects of it. And I've also noticed like if I'm in that state, especially when I'm like a bit lower on dopamine, and then I'm doing something difficult like reading a book, but like reading a dance book like Iliad, or like something I have to think about, or even where on one page you just have to Google like 7 times like what the fuck is this word?
Okay.
That my mind will instantly go sort of like tries to trick me into going to, oh, go to Instagram, go to Facebook, go to YouTube, get some dopamine, go on your phone, like do this, do that, like because it needs dopamine, but it's not fully realizing it. If I just wait for 20 minutes, I'll get it naturally.
True.
Because I'm doing something difficult, and my body's like, okay, well, here you have it.
Next question.
Next question. Who's your biggest inspiration in magic?
Right now or along the years?
Well, let's do both. So let's first do right now and then do along the years.
Right now, I would say Jan Loopman.
Yeah.
Because I just came from there. So it's like really, really present. Outside of
So what you say when you like, let's say, Bizarre is 5 years into, or better maybe
Marlowe,
at Marlowe? Okay.
Dive Vernon. I learned from Ed Marlowe inspired me to just focus on slides. Dive Vernon inspired me to just be fucking crazy. Just live life. Like, just have these projects. Go hunt the center deal guy. Go do you. That's for me, Vernon.
Yeah.
I got the idea of naturalness and everything, but I read his biography and I went, oh, this guy really did what
This guy was a fucking badass.
Yeah.
Terrible father.
Horrible father. Horrible husband. But there's something, at least in men, when it's, he's jamming with Larry Jennings and then his phone rings and he goes, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll be there. Goes down and he's like, okay. No, I was thinking about it. And Larry's like, who's that? It's my wife. She just gave birth. So, this tribe, like, don't you want to go? No, no, no. Like, I'll go in a minute. Let me show you this idea. There's something, let's go outside of the family spectrum. There's
Yeah.
something so beautiful about the obsession.
Mm.
I get it, but I really want, and I really like this.
And at the same time, though, I don't know if I could be as obsessed as Vernon. Like, literally having creditors knocking at your door, not paying rent, and just being like, let me practice the second deal. Like, bro, what?
You see, so this is what I mean. I grew up with this. I grew up with the Marlowe gang,
Yeah.
Alan Ackerman, David Solomon, all these stories around what miracles Marlowe was doing and how many things he was creating. And I thought, that's what I want. I want to create thousands of things. So that was my inspiration growing up. And I get inspired. I don't really obsess over one person nowadays. I don't have one guy and I devour him. But I like people that do something so original. It just inspires me. Like, for example, Mark Colby's act, very daring. Jan Frisch's act, very crazy, but perfect. Down to the
Yes.
millimeter.
Yes.
I like people that dedicate enormous amounts of practice. Visibly, you can see how much practice they dedicate. So everything is perfect. Then, when you see stuff like this, that really inspires me. Nowadays, in this moment, I want to be inspired by performers. I want to get better at but for me, 30s to 40s, if my 20s to 30s plus whatever was before, which is the fundamentals, the whatever. But all my life until 30s was about being able to create, learn, and come up with ideas easy. I can do all of these now. I don't have to worry about anything. Like, if I have a show and I have to create something for it, I know I can do it. I don't have to worry about this. But now that I have these, 30s to 40s is just performing for me. I want to become a good performer. I look at Jan and he fools me with the cups and balls, and I'm still like, why did I really think he put it in the other hand, bro? I've seen this. And he goes, and I'm like, what? And then he's doing his coin, his 3-coin across, right? And I don't even know how he does it, man. And I know it's shells. And I'm like, I want to do it. It's 1 coin. He goes, oh. And I'm like, I want this. I want people that can enchant you. I want this being able to enchant. So yeah, this is right now. That's my answer.
Sweet.
Long answer. Let's go a short answer for the next
one. Well, the thing was going to be, what's the biggest inspiration outside of magic? But I feel like that's not the short answer.
It is.
Life done.
Let's say people.
People.
Yes. Like, honestly. Question. Asking people. For me, my obsession with magic is equal to my obsession with asking people questions. I've known so much about some people. They never ask me things because I ask them so many questions. And then after like an hour or two, they go, oh, so what do you do? So where are you from? Like we've been in this bubble of it's not an interrogatory. It's more the art of being able to guide.
Yes.
And I love this. I love, because anybody. I see somebody, I'm like, this guy's fucking boring, or this girl is horrible. And then I go, let's ask them questions. And after 4 or 5 questions, I go, whoa, this person's interesting. You see? And this has taught me more about life than anything.
So you can learn something from anyone. That's sort of your...
Yes, but many times you have to take active action towards finding what it is you can learn from this person.
Right.
They won't just tell you many times. I was sitting next to 3 girls, and they were talking only very simple shit. It like killed my mind. And I was sitting there trying to study. This was back when I was in college. Trying to study, and I go, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette with them, right? So I go, ask them for a lighter, and for the next 15 minutes of talking, they were the most brilliant people.
Mm.
The questions, because I was guiding, I was asking them questions from simple, slowly to like more intimate, not in a sensual way, intimate in my own life.
Yeah.
They were finding out things about each other, like, oh no, I didn't know this. And then I go back to studying, just like that. They go back to coffee talk. Nothing, right? And I've learned this, that people will just talk about
Mm.
normal things, right?
Mm.
And because I don't like this,
Mm.
then I will ask them things and we'll both enjoy. I'm not trying to manipulate the other person into talking about something I like. I'm curious about what is the thing that this person is very passionate about,
Right.
finding it, tapping into that, because ultimately through their passion and love, I will learn something.
Mm.
What it is, I don't know, but I'll find out. And I love that.
Sweet. I love that. Fair. Last one, very simple one, I guess. What's your favorite trick that isn't yours?
Oh, it's my own favorite trick?
Well, the favorite trick to perform for people that isn't your trick.
That isn't my trick.
Hmm.
Very good question. I think the ambitious card, man. Bro,
He says with so much shame on his face.
when they see this go, bro, they lose it. They lose it. They lose it. Like literally lose. I love this.
You love this?
And it's been 18 years. I haven't had enough of this. I hate it. And then somebody goes, "Oh, can you show me some magic?" And I go, "Oh, of course. Oh, this is your card. Oh, it goes to the top."
You go, what?
Then I see how much high it gives them, and I'm like, man, this fucking trick. And in my lecture, you're not gonna see it, but in my lecture, which is the act that I was preparing for FISM, I was thinking, what would be the funniest thing to do at FISM? The ambitious card. And I have a moment in my act where I go like this. So I wave over the hand, and it goes and it changes into the card, and then I say, "Ooh, and now we're in perfect position to do my favorite effect." And in turn, you put the ace in the center, and then just like that, the card comes back to the top. I've done this in every lecture. Nobody reacts. No reaction. So it's perfect because what I say next just came back from the top from all of these. What? What, the ambitious card isn't good enough for you? Bro, and that's when they all go like, because it's not. It's not. And I imagine a whole 2,000 people seeing the ambitious card and me going, what? What? The ambitious card's not good enough for you? What? This sells pancakes on the street, man. Oh, whoa. And then it's like four different, four kind of production all of a sudden. I love this. So that's my favorite effect.
Awesome. So with that being said, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Pleasure. Can I still say something at the end?
Please.
Yes. Oh, I'll give a shout out.
Give a shout out.
Give a shout out to a couple of people. Shout out to Rico for having me here. This has been a pleasure. Shout out to having me in his home, welcoming me in such a nice way. Amsterdam is definitely much more beautiful because of this. Believe me. Until now, I was like, man, why is it so cold, windy, and rainy?
Yeah, you met the Dutch weather, man. It's
So shout out to you. You're here, so this is
Thanks.
perfect. Shout out to Igna, which is the guy that got me into magic. Just shout out to him as well. Shout out to M. If you know, you know. There we go. And I will shout out my mom.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. You know, it's funny. My parents actually don't watch me doing magic. My mom, honestly, I don't think it's not like she doesn't care. She's indifferent. If I show her something, she goes, okay.
That's cute.
No, but she's so supportive.
That's important, though.
So supportive. You know, she listens. She's in it, and I've always liked it. My dad doesn't agree with it. Still thinks I could do something else, but is still supportive in his own way. like, hey, if you want to do this, be the best. You know, like if you really are going on this lecture tour, learn as much as possible. He's always pushing me. You know, I don't like what you're doing, but if you do it, really do it. You know,
Mm.
and I like this. It's one
Yeah.
soft love and tough love, yin and yang, all this
Mm.
balance. Yeah. Shout out to my right hand. Not what you're thinking of, but I lost my right hand for 4 months. It was like this
Yeah, what happened?
because I broke my doing arm wrestling.
Okay.
Now I can
Arm wrestling broke it?
now I can arm wrestle again, which is very good. Which is very good. And after I put in the metal rod, it was fine. 2 years later, I take it out. My hand is like this, and I can hold it straight. But if I put a card in between two fingers, any two fingers, and the thumb, or any two fingers, and I try to do this, my hand will go, and I can't even. This is as much as I could do at that point, right?
Whoa.
So I couldn't hold the deck. If I was trying to hold the deck, it would sit like this. My hand.
What the fuck? Okay.
So I was swanning, bro. I was swanning.
You were a T-Rex, man.
Imagine Biz the T-Rex magician. Hello, guys.
You can always be like sort of a weird ripoff of Biff, you know?
Yeah, really. And yeah, shout out to actually being able to get it back and having fully healed and me still being able to do everything.
Is there anything you still wanna pitch? Maybe a project you're working on, a book, anything else?
I would love it if in the magic community we would have more people that are not interested necessarily in magic.
Mm.
They're not interested in performing. They're not interested in creating. They love magic, and they are a programmer, and they are a video game developer, and they are a music creator, and they take their interest in magic and they create a video game with it, like Card Slide. What was the name? Card Slide? I think it's Card Shark. It's a game that came out last year.
Okay.
There we go. People interested in gambling and card slides, in card cheating things, made a game about that. And I would love it if we had more of this. If we had people create websites with magic, but they don't care about being famous or like selling at Blackpool or whatever. Just creating passion projects.
Because it's fun, because it's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like the community is just all about, did you sell something? Work with this company or that company? Did you ever write a book? Are you performing shows? And it's always the same thing. If we, for example, I had this idea, let's say, imagine this website. It's called Magic Conquering, whatever. Conquer the world with magic. Stupid idea, stupid website, right? But the idea is you film yourself performing to an actual person on the street in Amsterdam. You do this, you live here, right? And when you do that and you upload it to this website, on a radius of 200 or 300 meters, that territory is Rico's territory. If you go outside of that territory and you film yourself, you have to film and check in from that location and send the video from that location. And then the people that manage this, then the know, or the AI or whatever. So whenever you send these videos, you're basically conquering Amsterdam, right? So when another magician comes and they see the website, they go, maybe they're traveling from the States. They go, oh, I want to conquer a bit from here, right? So they perform now. And now you look and are like, oh, I don't want somebody to conquer my hometown. And you're basically you're giving people a game for them to go out and perform. And it doesn't mean anything. You're not doing it for likes. You're not doing it for anything but just to conquer.
Yeah.
But it pushes people to have fun and to perform at the same time. And I feel like if the community would have more of this happening, it would change a lot. That's my last thing.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, man. Pleasure. Fuck yeah.
We arm wrestle now or later?
Later. Okay. But can I then break your other arm, or what's going on?
I just arm wrestled at